What's up guys, it's Michael here. In this video, we're going to talk about why the US retirement got a C plus grade even though it's worth $39 trillion. So that's pretty bad. C plus and your number one economy in the world. So the first question you have to ask is, why does the US have a C plus grade and it has a shortfall? So the first major reason is because the US, quoting by CNBC, a patchwork retirement design. So this means that compared to other countries like Iceland, where they deliver generous and sustainable retirement benefits to a large share of the population, which have a low level of old age poverty, and also they have a high relative degree of retirement income equality. So according to the reports, which uses different methodologies. Based on the US retirement system, which, let's face it, a lot of people understand that the US retirement system really blows compared to a lot of other first world countries, isn't set up that everyone has a chance to a financially secure retirement. So based on what experts say, that even though it's about 40 trillion invested, it's very fragmented. So there's a lot of cracks in there that underline this whole entire system. So some people are doing extremely well, or others are left behind. That's in case in reality in this system, which of course it could be amended, but it really depends whether or not if they want to fix it. So just 3 of the 38 countries, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development rank worse than the US in old age income inequality, according to the block of developed countries. So poverty rates are very high for Americans 75 years or older, and 28% in the US versus 11% on average in the OECD. So think about it, once you're hitting past your 40s and 50s, you realize that a lot of things you want to do before, it's a lot more difficult compared where you're in your teens, your 18s, 20s, maybe you're in 30s. So age is a huge factor, which leads us to our second reason being that a lot of Americans don't have a workplace retirement plan because, well, let's face it, it's not taught in schools and a lot of people don't really even care about it until it's too late. So approximately around 57 million Americans fell in the retirement savings coverage gap in 2020, meaning that they didn't have access to a workplace plan. So workplace plan, you can look at some things like IRAs aren't a catch-all for all workers without a 401k. So the US has a voluntary retirement savings system, meaning it's optional if you want to opt in or not. And there's other videos I posted and you can look it up whether it's beneficial for you or not, but depends on your cases. So the federal government doesn't require individuals to save or businesses to offer a pension or 401k. So this means individuals also shoulder more personal responsibility to build a nest egg as businesses have largely transitioned away from pension plans. So a lot of people do not know about benefits of a retirement savings system and how crucial it is to save and plan for your retirement. So if you look at it this way, by contrast, 19 developed nations require some level of coverage. By mandating business offering a retirement plan, the individuals have a personal account or some combination of the two. So if you look just for comparison, within the 12 countries, the arrangements cover more than 75% of the work age population, such as look at countries like Denmark, you got Finland and Netherlands, basically the Nordic countries, and Europe in general. So for example, the share is near 90% or more. So the first quoting issue, quoted by Will Anderson, is access. Access is the number one issue. So the Chief Government Affairs Officer at the American Retirement Association, a trade group, said of a workplace retirement savings, employees of a small business are least likely to have a 401k available when needed, he added. So quote unquote, however, the retirement system is actually a good system for those who have access, Hansen said, where people are saving, quote unquote. But it makes sense. If you have access to the retirement system, then you're basically well off. And if you don't work and you don't build up the retirement savings, you're basically in trouble. You have no one to help you out. Maybe Social Security, but how much of that's going to help based on inflation. So the retirement security offered by the savings is tilted toward high-income households, according to federal data. So you look at people like low earners, by contrast, appear more prone to having little or no coverage in their defined contribution. Low earners, by contrast, appear more prone to having little or no savings in their defined contribution accounts. The Government Accountability Office wrote in a 2019 report, a 401k plan is a type of defined contribution plan whereby investors define or choose their desired savings rate. So just around 9% of the bottom quintile of wage earners have retirement savings versus 68% of the middle income earners and 94% of the top quintile, according to the Social Security Administration report from 2017. So overall savings are also constrained by low wage growth after accounting for inflation and increased out-of-pocket costs for items such as healthcare, and you have longer lifespans, which are putting more pressure on nest eggs, meaning that moving on to Social Security benefits, which help make up for a shortfall in personal savings. So about a quarter of senior households rely on these public benefits for at least 90% of their income, according to the Social Security Administration. So the average monthly benefit for retirees is about $1,600 as of data collected by August 2022. So there are also some looming structural issues with Social Security program. Absent measures to shore up its financing, you got benefits for retirees are expected to fall after 2034. At that point, the program would be able to pay only around 77% of the scheduled payments. So the whole entire system is flawed. You don't have enough money coming in, and you have people who are living longer, and payouts are fluctuating within the population and whoever makes more or less money in this case. So furthermore, individuals can raid their 401k accounts in times of financial distress, causing the so-called leakage from the system. This ability can infuse much needed cash into struggling households in the present, but it may also subject savers to their shortfall later in life. Besides all of this, some optimism is that there has been a lot of progress, right? Not really. So at least that isn't an F grade, so that's quote unquote. I mean, you don't want to strive for the worst. You always want to try to strive for the best. So C+ is considered good for them, which is awful, which also can be also tough compared to relative success and failures of retirement systems on global scales. So each system has evolved to a particular economic, social structure, political and historical circumstances. So you have things like flaws in the healthcare system and education policy, which bleed into people's ability to save, and you have understandability, meaning education. Not everyone can save as well into their retirement. An example is student loan debt and healthcare. So you have experts say there has been a structural improvement in the recent years. So the Pension Protection Act of 2006, for example, that ushered a new era of saving, whereby employers start automatically enrolling workers in 401k plans and increasing their contribution amounts each year. So more recently, 11 states and 2 cities, New York and Seattle, have adopted programs that require businesses to offer retirement programs to their workers, according to the Center for Retirement Initiatives. So federal lawmakers are also weighing in provisions, such as reduced costs relative to factors like plan compliance and boosts in tax incentives to promote more uptake of 401k plans among small businesses. So despite its grade rank, which is a C+, sadly, at least a significant improvement has been made, and I really hope that this video informed you guys about retirement system and why, given the ranking despite worth around $40 trillion, even though we're the #1 economy, we still have a lot of problems. And you shouldn't be relying on employers to provide you a contribution plan. You should be prepping from this system for failure, meaning is don't expect the government to help you. Always set up a plan, a financial goal, and a financial goal, meaning is you should be saving money, you should be investing in yourself, you should be opening businesses, and most importantly, you should be clicking the subscribe button down below because our president's not gonna do it for you and YouTube won't do it for you. So hopefully you do it yourself. I'll see you guys next time.